So this should be right at the beginning of a mission. I've already went through my rant of how I feel about this mission. So let's instead focus on what we need to do. So I'm going to put this in order of precedence. Number one, there's going to be 2 LRM carriers. Those need to die immediately. So we are going to try and rush to that. That is the first thing we're going to do. The second objective is going to be the turrets. There's going to be, I think, 4 LRM turrets. That's very much a threat. We have to take care of that. Third thing is going to be the buildings themselves, which is actually our objective. There is going to be a trebuchet. Note that that's not on the list. That will be taken care of when I can get to it. We might just run past them. I would prefer not to because trebuchets have a lot of firepower, but number 1 is going to be more important than taking care of that trebuchet. And probably number 2 is going to be more important than trebuchet. We can take care of the trebuchet once we get to number 3. We'll have to see. Then our overall objective is to keep the Raven alive. Now, that's not on our list of objectives. I don't believe it's on our list of objectives. I don't really know what happens if you lose the Raven. It's very possible we could. I came very close to losing it the first time I did this mission, so we'll see how this goes. We're still loading in. There we go. All right.
Command interface initiated.
So, with that being said, in my mind, the best way to achieve our objectives... That's not letting me move very far here. Oh, I was turned around the wrong way. I was going to say, why are we not allowed to move very far? All right, so looking at our objectives, this is where the LRM carrier is. So, that being my primary objective, I think the best way to deal with this... well, first, let's assess what we have. So, we have Triceratops, our new pilot, in the Raven. She should have good enough piloting skill that she could sprint pretty far here. But we have the terrain to consider. What would be the faster path here? Probably this way. And then you have an intersection that comes out this way. You know, I'm actually starting to think the better path here is maybe this way. We come down this way, then we have a straight shot. No, we want to get to here. So what's the straightest path to that? I guess it would be this way, wouldn't it? Kind of got a snaking path to get there, which I'm not too big of a fan of, but that's what we're going to go with. Now, let's assess what mechs we have. So we have a Javelin 10F, which is the standard variant, I believe. Let's double check that. I don't know which pilot's under which, so I'm gonna get confused. That is not the standard variant. This is the one with medium lasers. Okay. So it gives us a little bit more firepower, but unfortunately, we might struggle with heat. And then when we have the Griffin is being piloted by Conqueror, and the Trebuchet is being piloted by the person I'm not even going to attempt to say their name. So that, with that being said, okay. Let's start with the Javelin. What are your guys' abilities? So you have multi-target, which may come in handy, and you have sure footing, which is nice. Okay, let's go through... We're going to go through the pilots in turn.
Yes, Commander.
Unfortunately, you do not have an ability I really wish you did. You have sure footing and bulwark. 2 abilities, well, the bulwark's probably not ever going to come into play because there really isn't any cover that I see anywhere. So that's a completely useless ability for us. I would much rather have multi-target. We may have some problems because of that. And finally, Conqueror.
Standing by.
Has multi-target, coolant vent, and bulwark. Is he the only one that has 3 abilities? Or did I miss that on my other pilots? You only have 2 abilities.
You.
And you only have 2 abilities. So, in theory, Conqueror is the most skilled pilot here. Unfortunately, he's in probably the most useless mech here. The standard Griffin 1N, which just does not have very good firepower, unfortunately. Alright, well, let's do what we had planned to do. So I'm going to sprint as far as I can. And that's going to be kind of how we do this. We're just going to try and blitz the objective. We're not going to hang back. And we're going to try and cover as much ground as we can. Ideally, I'd like to get as close as possible before we get contact with the enemy. Not sure if here or here is the better move. Let's go with this one.
Location.
So I'm hoping I get really damn close, because I'd like to get in and just kill those LRM carriers before they even get a chance to do anything. So that's what I'd like to have happen here. Not sure if it is going to happen. And then the Trebuchet is going to fall in behind here. So in theory, they're all within the ECM field. I didn't necessarily care if that was the case or not, but we will do that nonetheless when at all possible. Okay, so this is the turn where we're more than likely going to contact the enemy. So we want to get as close as we can while we're doing that.
Ready for orders.
So that will more than likely sensor lock us, but if I'm lucky, we should be able to jump next turn and get in on those LRM carriers. Unless the LRM carriers are really far back, which I don't think they're going to be. As a matter of fact, we could probably even jump in on the turrets. So this is probably not going to be too bad, blitzing in like this. So I'm going to full-on sprint, get as close as we can, because we don't want to be back. I mean, we got a sensor contact on that fairly early. Okay, there's the vehicle.
Enemy reinforcements
Keep your eyes
detected.
peeled, Bravo Lance. Black Caldera is bound to have more mechs in the area, and they're likely to call them in any second now. All right, so we do have like kind of a time limit here. All right, so we can get the Javelin within thing. We did have a very quick view here. So we only see one of the LRM carriers. Ah, there's the other one. So what we might end up doing is taking the Javelin and jumping it up on top of this building or over the building, depending on what we can reach, and killing that LRM carrier. Now, that would open up the Javelin to all these turrets. Not really a whole lot I can do about that if you know, we have to take care of these things pretty much immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Raven. We're going to sprint in here. We're going to get the guy within ECM coverage, but again, that's not really what I care about because I don't think the ECM is going to really help me too much.
Aye, aye.
Alright. So, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with Conqueror here. We possibly could jump on top of these buildings and get a shot at the other LRM carrier here. I don't know if we have enough damage, but we do have a nice side shot. So I'm going to go ahead and sprint to here. That's going to get me slightly closer to the buildings. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference as far as the range. But if we're very lucky, we kill the LRM carriers without too much difficulty, and we might even be able to move on to our secondary objective, which is taking out some of those turrets within this turn. It's this turn that's going to be coming, the combat turn. Alright, so now we're in combat. So my objective here, I happen to know that this trebuchet is going to hold. It's going to hold because it can't do anything right now because all of our guys are within ECM. And unless it can get within ECM territory, I can't really do anything. Now, I'm not going to hold all the way to 1. I'm just going to hold this one action. Oh, they do have light mechs. Okay, so that kind of disturbs my plan slightly. Probably over here. That might be the reinforcements. Well, in any case, we are going to have to reserve again. It will not affect us, though, because the LRM carriers and the turrets all go on the same action. We want to make sure that this trebuchet is pulled into their action group so that we can use all 4 of our mechs without any retaliation whatsoever. It may not matter in the long term, but the trebuchet is not one of our primary targets right now, so as a result, we will be ignoring it. It's a lot of firepower, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So it's going to pull in here, but until it breaks the plane of our ECM, it can't really do a whole lot. And I'm actually very surprised here. Is there more than one trebuchet? It seems like there's more mechs than I remember there being. Oh well, I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. So that actually surprises me that the mechs went. Before, they were holding their actions the other time I went to do this. All right, well, I don't care. We're going to get in here and we're going to do what we're here to do. So, Javelin is going to jump in. And if I can get a vision of a bunch of these turrets, I'd like that too, because we may be able to kill them. Now, this is going to heat us up like a mother, but I get a side shot on one of these LRM carriers, and if I don't manage to take it out, I've got the follow-up with my trebuchet that can probably take it out. I don't have multi-target, though, unfortunately, so if I fail to take both of these mechs out, we're going to be a little bit more of a problem, but yeah, I think this is going to have to be the move. Hopefully we don't overheat too badly.
Jumping.
I think we should be able to handle one turn of doing something like this. Yeah. Alright. Now, these only have 180 armor, so in theory, we'd punch through the armor here, and then once you do that, most vehicles go down, so
Got it.
we did miss. But it did die. All right, so that's a good sign. Even with the miss there, we were able to get the kill. So we don't need that much damage. It's a very good chance. Oh, they do have a heavy contact here. All right, so more than likely going to fire upon the javelin here. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. Thankfully, we had a lot of evasion, so they didn't do anything. So the reinforcements are already here. I don't remember that being a thing last time I did this objective. It seems like things have changed. I don't know if it's for the better. I honestly feel like this has made the mission more difficult. That these reinforcements are here already. Maybe we got a better luck of the draw or what have you on the reinforcements last time, because they didn't do anything for a few turns the other time I played this. But again, maybe I'm misremembering some elements of this. All right, well, in any case, the next thing we need to do
What's up, boss?
is we need to take Conqueror. And I need to do this in a way that he has vision, so either here or here. This gives him more evasion, so I'm thinking this is going to be our choice. He does have multi-target, but I do not dare risk the multi-target here, so I'm going to go ahead and jump. We're going to take that LRM carrier out. We do have a precision strike if we absolutely need it. 85% chance, so it is another trebuchet. So we have 2 trebuchets. I do not remember that being the case, but I guess it has been a little while since I've done this mission. I don't know if I want to blow the precision strike just yet. Would this increase my accuracy at all? No, it wouldn't. So there's absolutely no point in doing that. We're just going to have to hope to get lucky here. The PVC needs to land. That probably will do it. Or not. Well, that actually really sucks. Oh, we have another heavy mech going. Again, they're targeting us and not being able to hit us. How did we not kill that thing? Oh, bull crap. Raven might be able to finish it. That's kind of a waste of the Raven's move, but let's assess what else we'd want to do. So the LRMs, in theory, we could take this out with the trebuchet. So I think one of these guys would probably be a good idea. Now, in theory, the turrets do less damage than the trebuchets do. But that being said, the trebuchets are a lot harder to kill. Whereas these are fairly easy to kill. So I think
Yes, Commander.
the move we're going to take here... Oh, I cannot finish that thing off. Ah, F you, game. So I'm going to have to waste the trebuchet's turn. I can't do anything with it. We can't have that LRM carrier go because it will light us up. I mean, just to show you why this is bad. These guys have 3 LRM 20s. So if we do the math there, that's 240 potential damage. Which is a lot. Especially as we almost killed this guy. I mean, you get bad luck. It happens. But yeah, I have to take that thing out before it gets to go. So
Awaiting orders.
I could have taken out a turret on top of that, but I have no choice here. I have to take that out. More than likely, we get to kill at this point. I mean, the thing doesn't have that much armor. But right there is a good example of how the trebuchet, not the trebuchet, the Griffin just screws you because it just does not have enough damage. Well, in any case, we're going to go ahead and move up.
On my way.
And we're going to open up on this guy. This should kill it. I mean, it has very little armor left. No matter where we hit it, this should do the job.
Affirmative.
Hey, that's dead. So that was a big waste of damage, but I had no choice. I had to kill that thing. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and minimize the amount of damage they can do to the Raven.
Holding for the right.
Right now, they cannot strike the Raven, so they're going to strike whatever else they can see, which right now they're going after the Javelin, which is exactly what we want them to do, because their chance of hitting that Javelin is pretty bad.
Orders.
We are going to move up and attack. This does expose us to... You know, let's just prove something here. So this guy attacked and is in my zone. He has no missile defense. So if you do anything, you don't get the missile defense. But I did notice with that move, we would have gotten missile defense on ourselves if we had not done anything, I think. I think that's how that works. I don't know. I'm so confused at how this ECM works. But in any case...
Commander.
I've never really seen it really do a whole lot. Again, maybe you get it if you don't move. I mean, if you don't do an action. I'm gonna go ahead and get as much evasion as we can. It looks like we get more if we go here. I guess I will attack the trebuchet because it's the only thing here. We could use our precision strike to knock him down in initiative, which will allow us to get our other mechs over to our objective. Yeah, so I still don't see the thing here. All right, well, in any case, the precision strike or not the precision strike. The other thing we could do is we could use vigilance to give us protection because we're trying to save the Raven here. That probably will matter more than the initiative thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That way we get 40% damage reduction, 20% from the guard, and then another 20% because this pilot has bulwark. So that gives us quite a bit of protection here.
Fire.
All right. Did a little bit of damage there. Not a lot. The Raven doesn't have it. Let's see. There you go. They're starting to sensor lock some of my mechs. Now, sensor locking does limit how many of them they get to go. So they get a couple of hits in there. Not a lot of damage because we had the damage reduction.
I'm showing minor
Because you always get a round down with that kind of thing. It's actually equivalent to 50% damage reduction against those missiles. Which is pretty good. Okay, so Triceratops can go now. Not really a reason to do so, as we have reestablished the ECM. We cannot be targeted except for this trebuchet, which isn't going to go yet anyway. So we'll go ahead and reserve here. Maybe some light mechs can attack me, but
standing by.
they're going to need LRMs to do that, and they might not even have the vision to do so. Okay. So, in theory, the Javelin can kill one of these turrets. So it should. I don't have a better move for it.
Receiving you.
Ah, I'm getting confused on who's who.
Ready for orders.
Okay. Now, the question is, can we actually pull off an attack like that? I honestly don't know, but I'm trying to see. We might get attacked in the rear if I do this move, but I don't know who would actually do that, to be totally honest with you. So we're going to try and attack and kill this one LRM turret while still getting pretty good evasion. And hopefully we have enough heat to get a decent attack off. We got all four, so if all four of these hit, we will kill this.
Roger.
Yeah, that should be down.
Let's get
Okay.
this done.
So that's one turret down.
Target eliminated.
So we're getting onto our second objective. First objective's been taken care of, the LRM carriers, which are by far and away the most dangerous thing that we would have faced. So far, these are just Locust 1Bs, which might not even be able to hit me at that range. Okay. So the Raven still hasn't gone, but there's not a whole lot I can really do here. The Trebuchet can attack me if it gets within this ECM field. Only attacking loses bust from the ECM. Oh, hey, Dutton. Thanks for the gifted sub to Bajerby. Yeah, so if the Trebuchet moves in here, first off, it'd be point-blank range, so a lot of its weapons wouldn't be very accurate. Also, it would only burn one ECM charge, so the Raven, I think, would still be safe. The Griffin would not. So, yeah, and Bajerby, you should have access to emotes and stuff. Yeah, so I think reserving is really the best move. So again, it will burn the thing here, but at that point blank range, those LRMs were just completely wasted. They didn't hit anything.
Systems holding.
Hit with a couple medium lasers, but that's not the end of the world. At this point, we might as well probably move with the Griffin. I'm not really sure we could do a whole lot with the amount of damage we do. We generate, let's see, 90 damage, which is not enough to kill anything, really. Maybe I just hold here again, because maybe the better move is to counterattack these Griffins. I'm not 100% sold on that. We have some possibilities. We could maybe double team the Griffin and the Raven to take out one of these LRM turrets, and then we'd be down to just two of them left. And then the Trebuchet could probably take out the other one, so there'd only be one turret left. that might be the best move. I'm not 100% sure on that, but if they're attacking my Griffin, that's actually the best thing they could be doing for us. So let's go ahead and reserve. Let their medium mechs go. And then I don't think that... See, the Griffin could get a rear attack on the Trebuchet, but I really can't execute that very well because of the range of my weapons. All my weapons are long range. That's one of the big flaws of the Griffin. I could jump up on top of this building, so I'm tempted to do that. You know what? F it. We're going to jump up on top of this building, and we're going to start attacking one of these turrets. I'm going to do one that potentially the Raven could finish off. So we either go... I think we go with this one or this one. I think the Raven would be able to round this corner and be able to hit one of these two. Let's go with this one because it's possibly the most likely. I'm not sure. This mech might block the vision, though. I mean, I'm up high, so... Why can't I see this but not see it? that has to be a visual bug. Oh, I haven't landed yet. Duh.
Affirmative.
Wondering what was going on. Maybe I should have turned myself a little bit more because I may get rear attacked. Oh well. I may not have the heat to do everything I want to do, but I think we attack this guy. We can pull that off with what we've got.
Locking in all weapons.
So we didn't even hit with much of anything, so the likelihood we take that turret out this turn anyway is probably minimal. Okay, just a medium laser. Of all things that a trebuchet could do, that is not the worst. Now, if the trebuchet here had multi-target, which it doesn't, unfortunately, because of course the pilots that you get are never, like, when it's AI assigned, never make any sense. I would do a multi-target. I'd hit this trebuchet, and then with the medium lasers, and then I'd hit the turret, one of these turrets, with my follow-up attack. In this case, I'm just not really sure what to do. I guess I'll move up.
Moving to position.
And we'll take out one of these turrets. Take this one out. Actually, I changed my mind on that one. I think we take this one out because the Javelin over here might be able to help take this one out. It'd be harder for the Javelin to do a whole lot over here. Yeah, let's go for this one. If we do not kill this, I'm going to be very surprised. Because we're going to have to miss almost all of our... Yeah, we had 30... Well, probably 23 more damage than we needed. Okay, so at this point, there's no reason to move the Raven at all, as they cannot target it. Right now, our other mechs are going to be the targets they go after, and that's what we want. So we're going to go ahead and wait. It's going to be trickier next turn to get what we need, but... Okay, they're going after the Griffin, which is... Oh, no, actually, they're going after the Trebuchet. That was misleading with where the missiles were, but... Alright, I continue to reserve, although... How much armor and health does this thing still have? It is... Oof, okay, so we need 61 damage. Can we even do that much damage with the mech that we have? So we can do 50 plus 48. In theory, if we get a full salvo off and it all lands, we would kill that thing. So yeah, probably a good idea. Let's go ahead and reserve, though. The reason why I do so is because we know that we have at least a couple heavy contacts. Okay, so now we know it's only going to be the assault contacts going. All right. What I need to have happen here is I need to have it so that these guys cannot get my back. So I need to be able to target that. That's going to be almost impossible, to be totally honest with you. We could take advantage of our initiative and just not worry about our back, because I think we'll still get our stealth charges back. I mean, that happened last time. So yeah, I think I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm also probably going to use Vigilance to give myself a initiative boost, so we'll beat everybody to the punch anyway. And then I think we have our 2 light mechs take out the last of the turrets, and then we just deal with whatever we have in front of us now. I'm going to go ahead and make this move. If we're lucky, we get the damage we need. I also closed the range, which should help with accuracy. I'm gonna go ahead and use vigilance so we get our initiative boof. Boof. Boof! Alright, let's fire. A lot of missed missiles there, but we did get the kill. So there's only one turret left. And then we just have the mechs to deal with. They're continuing to go after the Griffin, which is fine with me.
Mech warrior.
So far we've done pretty well with this mission. Okay, so unfortunately I have no ECM charges here, so I have to move more or less. So what I'm going to try and do, I don't want them to be able to get my back. That's like the primary thing. And I think we're going to have to deal with that with this. Now, maybe some LRMs can arc over my back. If that happens, that happens. Not a whole lot we can do about it. I'm going to go ahead and move in here. Now, the trebuchet could come in and punch me, but if the trebuchet is punching me, that's actually probably the better thing that could be happening. I'm going to use vigilance again to get us the damage reduction. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up on the LRM turret. And the Javelin and the Raven working together should be able to take out our opponent here. So,
Roger.
or it will just die. I guess we technically had enough damage to do it. Okay, so there you go. There's those objectives taken care of. So now what we're looking at is just these guys. They're going after the trebuchet. Okay. So at this point, we have a couple different things we can do. I can start attacking their mechs and ignore the buildings. Which frankly, I don't think is that big of a problem because they do have, yes, they do have reinforcements coming in. But outside of a couple heavy mechs potentially. No, those are not heavy mechs. Those are heavy vehicles. Yeah, okay, so I misread that. There's strikers. So the reinforcements are not really that heavy. So probably the better move is to start attacking this trebuchet. Now, granted, I kind of can't. Guess we'll do this. You know what? Maybe not. I mean, we would force that trebuchet to come into our ECM to burn our ECM, and then it'd be too close range to do anything. So I think we're okay with reserving here. That way I can round that corner and get my medium lasers. I might only be able to fire a few of them, but it's better than nothing. Now this Locust is probably going to just do the same thing the other Locust did and attack my trebuchet, which I can't really stop it from doing. Trebuchet is kind of in trouble because it has to deal with multiple opponents by itself. Okay. So what I'd like to have happen here is the Griffin is just going to stay put and precision strike this trebuchet. We're going to try and focus this trebuchet down. I don't know. Center torso is fine with me.
Whatever you say, boss.
Or just hit the leg, whatever. Oh. Not sure if you got one. Ow. Not very nice.
They're blowing through my armor.
Yeah, this guy, the
Standing
trebuchet
by.
here might go down. I'm not really sure what we do about that, because the range that we'd be engaging here is just not ideal. This guy's too close to me. And I don't have multi-target, which is probably the most useful thing that we can do. And these guys have too much evasion, I'll never hit them. So the trebuchet is just in a bad spot. What I could do is I could just ignore them. And just let the fate of the trebuchet be what it is. I mean, this trebuchet that attacked us has to be running hot, so probably will not be able to get another attack off. We could kill the striker. It hasn't gone yet. Probably not the most dangerous opponent, though. The trebuchet here is by far and away the most dangerous opponent. It can do way more damage. I think this is the right call.
Roger that.
This should be a lot of damage we're firing here. 195, I think my math is correct. If most of it hits anyway. We also knocked him unsteady, which is a good thing. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and have Peregrine. This guy still hasn't gone, but we can still get an attack off, it seems. The question is, can we reduce firepower? That's always my concern. And I don't think, maybe, if we get very lucky with our shot placement, but the likelihood is we will not get lucky with our shot placement. So this move, I'm going to reserve. I want to wait for the trebuchet to close in here. Maybe killing the vehicle was the right call. Okay, so now it can attack, but it's so close. It's going to be hard for it to do a lot here. I mean, that still hurt. But it could have been worse. Okay, now
Ready for orders.
you should have... I mean, the guy has decent evasion up, but you get closer.
Position confirmed.
We might be able to get in the rear of this trebuchet next turn, too. So I'm going to have to pull back a medium laser. We're overheating at this point. Okay, all its internals. If I can stay on that side, actually, we'd be in good shape, too. Alright, strikers come in. Again, not all that threatening. And if they close in like that, they're going to miss with a lot of the missiles that they fire at me. I mean, they only hit with one. So... the enemy's kind of doing what we want. Now, these locusts are going to light me up. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. But if they don't move a lot, we can counterattack them decently enough. So again, a lot of that missed. Okay. So back around to us. At this point, I think the Raven is fairly safe.
Waiting for orders.
So I'm just gonna pull back a little. Yeah, pull back. Actually, I want to attack him from the side though, if I can. Yeah, like that. Probably gonna precision strike him, so that we can knock him down in initiative, and this way we'll just have all three of our mechs open up on him. I don't think a trebuchet is gonna be able to survive that. Go for the leg. I can use the Griffin to death from above him. Let's go for the leg.
Firing all weapons.
A lot of that hit the leg. Goodbye, leg. I think death from above with the Griffin is what we're going to do to follow up on that. I might not move Peregrine yet. Okay, here comes the Locust. Which is... that had to have been a sprint. That was way too far of a move. So yeah, Peregrine I think I'm going to hold, because I have multiple things I can do on this turn. And by holding, we put ourselves in a good position to use the trebuchet before they get a chance to really do a lot of damage here. Now they're going to get in there, possibly blowing off an arm. All right.
That shot went internal.
So this, the trebuchet has to go now.
Awaiting
Because
orders.
if it keeps taking a beating, it's going to be a problem. So I have to determine what it is that I want to do here. Is the enemy trebuchet... yeah, see, the enemy trebuchet is still in not the ideal range. If we don't move intelligently... I think this is our move. We take out one of these strikers. Because I really don't have another move for me, so... yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to do this, and I did put my back to the building, so hopefully they don't get too many rear shots, although this trebuchet probably will be able to get it. But hey, my rear armor's fresh. Okay, we'll turn off a medium laser. That'll get us what we need. This is still going to be a lot of damage, probably killing the striker, unless we miss a lot. Or not. Okay, here comes the trebuchet. I was going to go after the rear of my Griffin. Well, again, that's fresh armor, so I guess, alright, I'll take it. Okay, there is no move other than a death from above in my mind. 95% chance we hit. I'm going to go ahead and turn this way. And execute.
Confirmed.
If this does not kill the enemy, we'll follow up with the Peregrine to try and take him out.
Critical hit. Losing armor left and right here.
So we hurt ourselves quite a bit there, but hey, we got fancy. This guy does not have a lot of life left. So
Receiving you.
I'm gonna go with another melee attack. This might be unwise, but I do need to cool off. Or do we do a death from above attack and just try and kill this guy? Because I only do 40 damage. Whereas if I do the death from above attack, I do 80 damage. I still have another 95% chance I hit him. So
Aye, aye.
these are very risky moves. But hey, it got us the kill.
Tango is trash.
With the Griffin, I had no other choice. I mean, I could not attack anymore. I was too overheated. I would not have done much damage. I also don't care about these mechs because they're not my mechs. These are not my mechs. These are not my pilots. So if they die, that sucks. But oh well. Okay, again, very close range. So a lot of these missiles are going to miss.
Internal structure damage.
Okay. I really don't like the Locust and where it is, but I don't know what I do about it, frankly. It's just got so much evasion here.
Standing by.
I'm going to go ahead and make a move to finish off the striker that we've already done a lot of damage to. I would imagine that 4 medium lasers would do it.
Confirmed.
Let's just go for a section that's already taken a lot of damage. That should do it. Okay. So the only threat, the most powerful threat that still remains, is that trebuchet. Another rear shot here. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. But now the Locust should be fairly
Okay.
low on that evasion. And then also, I should be able to do a lot of melee attacks to deal with it. So I'm in a situation where I think, again, the best move is just really just reserve. Because the Raven's not really all that threatened. Locust is going to come in and attack. I'm not sure what it's attacking yet. The Griffin, okay. Our mechs are definitely getting beat up, but it is what it is.
Yes, Commander.
I'm going to do a melee strike here. We are getting very beat up. That is my right leg. Uh-oh. My right leg would be facing the enemy if I do this. If I do that, the left leg faces the enemy. I guess that's the better move then. Let me just think about that. Left leg facing the enemy. I don't think he'll be able to get in behind me. And this might get the kill. I mean, 65 damage times 2. All in one place is 130 damage.
Move order
We could
confirmed.
use the little bit of cooling off.
Let's see how you like this.
Okay. Dead vehicle. Alright, so all that remains is that trebuchet.
Move her down.
And then obviously the 2 locusts, but the locusts are the least of our worries. Here comes the trebuchet. It's probably running too hot to get a lot of damage output. It's going to go after the javelin. That's actually pretty ideal for us. The javelin is the least damage of our mechs, and one of the ones that had the most evasion.
Systems holding.
Okay. Conqueror's going to do a melee strike here. Again, because right now these locusts
Standing by.
really are the only thing I can hit with the heat that I'm at, and they're going to be easier to hit, so
Roger that.
if I use melee attacks because of the evasion. Okay, good hit there. We'll follow up with the Raven, try and do some good damage on that thing while it still has not a lot of...
Standing by.
It has no evasion, really. So I'll go ahead and move in. Put my back to the wall so they can't do a whole lot there.
On the move.
Okay. I think we use Precision Strike to knock this guy down in initiative, so he can't really get out of the beating he's about to get. Let's just go center torso and try and finish him.
All weapons are go.
Okay. Alright, here comes the Locust. Gonna do a melee attack on our Raven. Not really too worried about that. Our Raven is the only thing that hasn't really even taken any hits at this point, so this shouldn't hurt too bad. I think we got this one in the bag, and I think that having learned from the previous time we did this, we did a hell of a lot better.
Ready for orders.
I'd prefer to not attack that side, but I don't think I can avoid it.
On it.
Alright, I want to try and take out this guy before he gets a chance to go. Unfortunately, we're going to overheat. Not a whole lot of health still left in this thing.
Locking on target.
I think that's only going to take the arm, unfortunately. Pretty sure the Raven will be able to finish it. So we'll try and do so.
Commander.
I want to do it with guns, because the chance of hitting with the guns pretty high. Also, I would do more damage. I don't want to hit my own mech, though. Alright, so that Locust may be able to get in and do some work on me, but the Griffin's going to come in and punch it. Try and mess it up. Okay, here we go. This should do it, the job. I'm going to go ahead just to precision strike it to make sure it dies. Center torso it. This is probably overkill, but... Goodbye.
One less target.
Alright. Crochet is still a problem, but... You know, there's only so much we can do. Okay, a lot of that missed. If we were to continue to just trade with that trebuchet, though, we will lose. Because it has not really taken a whole lot of damage, and we've taken an absolute beating on our trebuchet, but...
Commander?
What can you do? Alright. Go ahead. I want to continue to keep my left side towards the enemy. And we will do that. I'm just going to sit here and trade with the guy. Until I can get more help.
Confirmed.
Should be able to get a full salvo on him. Oh, okay, maybe not.
Confirmed.
Yep, we have a green screen. It's been working pretty well for me. I still have some things I'd like to... Oh, we knocked him down. Did I take out his leg? I wasn't paying attention. I still have some upgrades to do lighting-wise, but otherwise it's been working very well. Okay, let's go ahead and get the melee attack. We'll go on the rear section here. Here we go. Yeah, and hello, Radis.
For physical attack.
Alright, that helps. Goodbye! Goodbye, Locust.
Mech destroyed.
Okay, so now we have pretty much everybody against the one. He's already knocked down, so there's no reason to hold off here. Just get in there.
Aye, aye.
We should beat him to initiative, so there's not really too much of a point in doing a whole lot else. Fortunately, I can only do so much. I'm going to go after that right torso. If we knock that out, we knock some of his firepower out. Well, that's cool. My wife is a teacher, so anything involving kids, I'm always in support of. Okay, so Triceratops
Commander.
probably unlikely to be able to get in there, so I think we just start working on our actual objective, which is to blow up these buildings.
Move order received.
Well, the one thing that's a good advantage for the Raven is it never really runs hot.
Got it.
So you can fire its weapons maximum pretty much every turn. Not really a problem. That's not necessarily the best trait to have, though.
Waiting for orders.
We're going to have to jump, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump up on this building. No. I wouldn't be in range. I wouldn't be in proper range. So we actually want to jump there, and maybe we're in the good range. Yeah, it looks like it.
Jumping.
More than likely, dude. Alright. Well, we got a crit.
Scored a critical hit.
Here we go.
Aye, aye.
Well, I guess there's always that, yeah. Go with a precision strike, why not? Oh. Okay, continue to pound on that right torso.
Firing on target.
Come on, goodbye. Yay! Took out the pilot. All right, so now it's just the objective. There is nobody threatening us whatsoever, so we can take our time. So starting off with the Raven, just continue to hit that building. It probably will go down. You don't have to go Darkest Dungeon with him. I put the link to the ECM on the Battletech wiki and the Discord so you can read on the details. Oh, alright. Well, I probably won't use it.
Target acquired.
I just don't get what the point of it is. It's so difficult to use, and a lot of its use revolves around you not using your mechs. So if you don't use your mechs, then you're not doing anything. So what's the point?
Ready for orders.
I don't know. That's just kind of like how I think about it. I would rather be doing damage or doing something than nothing. I mean, yeah, the enemy can't hit me, but if I can't hit them, then nothing gets done. And in most missions, you're outnumbered by the enemy anyway, so...
Got it.
Alright.
Yes, Commander.
We don't really want to get too close, otherwise our weapons won't hit, so...
Acknowledged.
And fire.
Roger.
The Raven can be a good mech if you strip out those ECM, because the ECM does weigh stuff, so you strip that out, you give it more firepower, and it's not a bad mech if you do that. I mean, it has some downsides. It's not all that fast, all things considered. We're about to run out of ammo. It only has 75 health. Well, we have more damage than we... I say that. This should go down, though. Unless we miss a lot with the LRMs. So it's just going to be one left.
Get your lance to the LZ.
Oh, that's right. We only had to take out 3 buildings anyway. Okay, well, that's it. Because we already killed all the enemies, so we don't have to get to the objective. So we're done. Yeah, but oftentimes, I mean, they didn't do it this time, but the other time I engaged them, the AI actually held their actions. Which is not something they normally do. They didn't do it this time, though, so I'm not really sure why they didn't do it this time and why they did it the time before. Maybe they changed the AI since the last time I did that mission, although I don't know if they did or not. I mean, technically, there's a DLC that came out. Alright, so we got a 30% bonus. What do we get all the bonuses for? So, killing the garrison, killing the turrets, and killing the reinforcements. Okay. I don't think I did the No, I think I did this the last time. But I think we got through a lot cleaner. That's nice. You don't really gain anything from that because, again, these aren't my mechs and I'm not going to keep this one. So... Okie dokie. Well, we got 3 parts of a trebuchet. Can't say no to that. Actually, we got 4 parts of a trebuchet, so in theory, we could get a full trebuchet. I don't know if I have any LRM-15s. That would be the only thing I'd be worried about, is getting some LRM-15s. But the mechs are more important than other things, so let's see if we get the lottery. No, we didn't, but we did get the LRM-15, so I guess that does help. Alright. Oh, that's good to hear. Personally, I've never played PUBG myself, but I have, you know... Tarkov used to have a lot of issues with hackers too, and in theory they dealt with them, but I don't know. As a matter of fact, I heard a thing, I guess this is more of a thing in CSGO, but I'd never heard of this before, but I was watching somebody play Tarkov, and it was the first time I ever had an encounter with this. So, okay, we're on Prototype 4, but I'm going to tell my story real quick first. Something called spin botting. I'd never heard of it before until I watched somebody play Tarkov, and I don't know 100% what the purpose of it is, but I think the way it works is it makes your head, so the bot spins your character really, really fast on a 360, and it makes it so your head is harder to hit. I've heard that it's mostly used to be an anti-aim botter, because it makes it makes the aimbot, I guess, harder to target your head or something. But yeah, I was watching this guy, and a guy came, like, he was running along, and just before he went to shoot him, the guy was like spinning like this, like a top. So it was kind of funny to see. He was like spin botting, and then so I had to look that up because I was like, what the hell is spin botting? I've never heard of it before. But apparently that was a thing on CSGO. All right, any case, that R&D lab went up like a Christmas tree, Commander. Beautiful work. That Raven is a hell of a machine, I've got to say. I can understand why Dame Catherine wanted it for herself. Yeah, her and everyone else. Commander, you're not going to believe this, but Lady Alexandra Cunningham is calling on behalf of House Davian. She says it's about an acquisition deal, and that it's urgent. Funny thing, XO, I actually do believe it. But put her on the line. Let's hear what she has to say. Now, I have to make a decision on who to give this mech to, and I think you can give it to pretty much anyone you want. I think I'm going to go with House Davian, because I've already allied to House Merrick, which is who this mission originally was for, and you can't give it to them, and in theory doing the mission as you were paid to do, but I have already allied with House Merrick in my last run, so I think we do somebody different. Commander Gunner, I won't beat around the bush. You have one of the Capellan Confederation's Raven prototypes, and House Davian wants it. We'll match whatever deal Singh offered you, and you'll have to you have the thanks of House Davian to boot. I know that Singh gave you a high-minded speech about maintaining the balance of power. That's what we want too. In fact, House Davian has no intention of using the Raven at all. Sure you don't. We see it as a bargaining chip, nothing more. You say that now, but you haven't seen what it can do. I don't need to. In the long run, it will make little difference. Oh, certainly, it may tip the balance of a battle or two, but here's the funny thing about game-changing technologies. The game only stays changed until the new rules are understood. Then it goes back to being the same old game. The one we've been playing from time immemorial. The idea of the Raven is what's truly valuable, and that's what we aim to control. In any event, Commander, I won't bore you with any more idle chatter. I'm a busy woman, and I'm sure that you have a lot on your mind, but consider my offer. You know where to find me. Your view screen goes blank as Lady Cunningham severs the connection. Okay, it's official. Everybody wants this prototype, and they'll pay through the nose to get it. Our contract was with House Merrick, though. Force Commander Singh brought all of us together on this, and we all agreed that the Raven would go to him. Personally, I'm in favor of keeping our promises. Unfortunately, that's a promise we're going to be breaking. I agree, but at the end of the day, we aren't the ones who should be making the choice. Commander Gunner is. Yes, that's true. Agreed. We owe you, Commander. You helped us get justice for Umbra. She would have died for nothing without your help. Chances are, we all would have. What about you, Peregrine? You on board with this? Yeah. The way that I see it, the Raven is yours to do with as you see fit. If you sell it to someone we don't like, we just pack our bags and go work someplace else. We're soldiers without a country now. Whatever Singh says, our only real loyalty should be to ourselves. So now you don't join me anyway, so I don't care if I please you guys, because you guys just F off. So, whatever. Sounds like the kind of thing a mercenary might say. Welcome to the biz. You kids are going to do great. How about the Raven? That Raven, care to break down your options, XO? Okay, so here we go. Well, it comes down to a couple of questions. Do we keep it or sell it? And if we sell it, who to? The benefits to keeping it ourselves, it's a hell of a mech and nobody else has one yet. If we offer it to one of the great houses, we'll be out of Raven, but our reputation will skyrocket and we'll get paid. Bravo Lance is right, though. In the end, it's Commander Gunner's choice to make. So let's see what we got. So we just go with House Merrick. We go with House Liao. Yeah, right. Keep it for ourselves, or we click this. I think it gives us more options. So we'll go with, actually I have a different idea of what to do with the Raven. At least I hope that's what happens, because they only gave us 2 choices, and we're not going with House Liao. That's a funny joke. All right, in any case, let's go ahead and continue. Go on then, don't keep us in suspense. All right, so we can give it to House Davian, which I think is what we're going to do. We can give it to House Steiner, House Karita, or we can say to hell with them. You give it to the pirate clans? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give it to House Davian. If House Davian's only interest in this prototype is a bargaining chip, I say we let them have it. Well, what does it say about the other ones? Steiner is the richest of the great houses. It seems to me that they're the ones who we should be selling to. Not really much of a reason for Karita. Well, Dutton, Battletech was made by the same people that made Shadowrun, and it's a very lore-rich world. So if you want to look it up, I highly recommend a website you can look up. It's called sarna.net, sarna.net. It is a kind of like a wiki of sorts, and it's got all kinds of lore. So if you're into that kind of thing, read up. If you don't care, then obviously you don't care and just go about your business. All right, any case, let's go ahead and click on this one. So the Federated Sons, huh? I suppose I can get behind that. I'll make the arrangements with Lady Cunningham and see to it that Bravo Lance gets its asylum deal. Fair's fair, after all. Much obliged, Oliviera. If you ever head out to New Avalon, keep an eye out for us. Maybe we'll get the chance to work together again. So it's a different location. Other time, I mean, I guess it depends on which faction you go with. These guys get, you know, their amnesty with whoever you pick. We'd like that, Bravo Lance. Best of luck. Your screen cuts to the test pattern as Bravo Lance severs the connection. All's well that ends well, Commander, and if you don't mind my saying, this is a damn good ending. We're coming out of this assignment with friends on New Avalon, a giant wad of cash, and the thanks of House Davian to boot. Not a bad haul for a few days' work. But for you, Newton, just to simplify things, House Davian is pretty much the free world. It's like America, if you want to use it that way. If you want to make that very simple analogy, it's pretty much America. So I went with America. All right, right there with you, Meyer. Now, I suggest that we go enjoy our newfound wealth and reputation. There's nothing for us here anymore, and I, for one, will be happy to leave the Duchy of Endorian behind. All right, let's see what we get. So we got an arm mod, which I'm not too keen on, but we got some mech parts. We got a couple quick draw parts. We got a couple dragon parts. Kind of odd, considering we ended up going with House Davian here. We have a medium laser with extra damage. I'll always take one of those. 3 locust parts, so it looks like we're getting a Locust 1S. Probably just sell that. SRM2 with extra crit damage. Now, as far as the relationship bonuses go, I'm going to try and move out of the way so you guys can see. So, we got plus 40 with the Federated Sons. I hope you guys can hear me still. I'll try and shout. We got minus 3 with the Capellans. I guess, you know, these two are rivals, so maybe that makes sense. Although we also took the mech from the Capellans. Maybe it was the mission itself. Yeah, probably the mission itself. And then, no, we were fighting the House Merrick, though. All right, whatever. I'll just take it as is. The Free Worlds League, we got plus 16, despite the fact that we trade them in the end. And then we got plus 24 with the Mercenary Review Board. There you go. Okay, next.
That mech you asked for is cleared for fighting.
So go to Locust 1S. Don't really care. That's just going to go straight down to storage.